3 potential logical landing spots for Marc Gasol before season. The Los Angeles Lakers overhauled their roster this NBA offseason. As things currently stand, there are only 4 players on the roster for the 2021-2022 season that played with the team this past season. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Marc Gasol and Talen Horton-Tucker are the only holdovers from the 2020-2021 team. And, if recent rumors turn out to be true, that number could drop to only 3. Recently, there has been some chatter that it is not a lock that Gasol returns to the team for the 2021-2022 season. Gasol announced following Spain's loss to Team USA in the quarter-finals of the Olympics that he intended to play out the final season of the 2-year deal he signed with the Lakers last offseason. There is uncertainty if that means Gasol will be free to play elsewhere in the NBA or if he would finish his career overseas in Spain as his brother Pau Gasol did. Even with limited playing time, he showed that he can still get the job done. He is a good 3-point shooter, rebounder and rim protector. Last season, he was part of some of the Lakers' best lineup combinations, as the team was better with him on the court. If he remains in the NBA, there are plenty of teams that would love to acquire him. Here are 3 teams that would be potential, logical spots for Gasol before the season. 3. Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks won the 2021 NBA championship. It was an impressive feat, coming down from 2-0 against the Phoenix Suns to win in 6 games. They are in a great position to compete once again, but they could use some changes to the end of the roster. If there is one thing lacking on the Bucks roster currently is another big man. Brook Lopez is the only player currently on the roster that is listed as a center. Bobby Portis, who was retained this offseason in free agency, can play some minutes at the 5 spot but will likely be the main backup at the 4 spot with P.J. Tucker departing in free agency. Giannis Antetokounmpo can also fill in for some minutes at the backup center spot, but that isn't something Mike Budenholzer will want to do for an entire 82-game season. He would likely want to keep that to a playoff thing. So, landing a player of Marc Gasol's caliber would make a lot of sense for the Bucks. Gasol could slot into the backup center spot behind Lopez and the team wouldn't miss much of a beat. He can provide a similar impact given both are excellent 3-point shooters for centers and block some shots defensively. Having another reliable big man on the bench is something that the Bucks should be looking for as we head closer to the 2021-2022 season. 2. Charlotte Hornets. The Charlotte Hornets are one of the teams on the rise in the Eastern Conference. They lost in the NBA play-in tournament this past season, but Charlotte is certainly heading in the right direction. The Hornets have a face of the franchise in LaMelo Ball at point guard. Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward and Mason Plumlee are solid veterans that will likely be in the starting 5 alongside Ball and P.J. Washington. Miles Bridges and Kelly Oubre Jr. are a solid duo on the wing coming off the bench. Rookie Kai Jones should fit right in with this athleticism and above-the-rim play. Adding another center to the mix wouldn't hurt, as Jones and Vernon Carey Jr. are the only other centers on the roster. Bringing in a veteran such as Marc Gasol would make a lot of sense for the team. The Hornets not being contenders could keep them out of the running for a player such as Gasol, but he would be a great fit for them. As an NBA champion with vast playoff experience, he would have plenty to offer the young guys on the team, as a vast majority of the roster has never played in an NBA postseason game. He would provide a solid 1-2 punch at the center spot along with Plumlee, giving the Hornets a nice upgrade on the Cody Zeller-Bismack Biyombo combo they had last season. 1. Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets are one of the few legitimate contenders in the NBA heading into the 2021-2022 season. They have their big 3 in place with Kevin Durant, James Harden and Kyrie Irving. Had it not been for injuries suffered in the postseason, they may have won championship under their belts together already. As we head into training camp, there is one weakness on the Nets roster, the center spot. With DeAndre Jordan unlikely to remain in Brooklyn moving forward, they could use some more depth at that spot. Jordan was removed from the rotation at the end of the regular season and then didn't play a second in the postseason. Jeff Green played a lot of center for the Nets but is now with the Denver Nuggets. Blake Griffin filled in admirably as well, but the team needs more experienced centers on the roster. Marc Gasol could provide that and showed last season that he can still produce even at 36 years old. Currently, the Nets have Nicholas Claxton and Day'Ron Sharpe as other options at the center position. It is unlikely a team contending would rely so heavily on inexperienced players, but unless they can swing a deal for a player such as Gasol, it is what they may be forced to do. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.